Yep, integrating data and AI together.
Yep.
Hi, everyone. First of all, thank you. Ron, thank you very much for having me here. Appreciate it a lot. So today, let me introduce myself. My name is Bala. I don't want you guys to pronounce the full name. I know it's too long. I'm a cloud solutions architect. I do a lot in data and AI space, predominantly, mostly digital transformation, coming up with new services or how to apply technology that can build value add service in business, IT, all across. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about some of this data architecture, which starts with strategy and some governance, and I'm going to show you some of the patterns that what you guys can leverage and use to build your data estate. This is an very, very broad topic, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard a lot of version of it. Ron, if you don't mind, please, everyone, if you have questions, post the questions in the chat window. Ron, if you want to stop me, and or if the attendees wants to ask questions, please go for it. So let me skip this. Let's go back directly to what you're going to talk about. So let's talk about data for a second, right? You're hearing this everywhere. Oh my God, our data is everywhere. What is happening? What are we going to do? So if you look from the top, the data estate has been changing very rapid phase. For a while, we were stick with data warehouse for the longest time. But now if you look at it, there is data migration happening, and then they're all modernizing the data so that they can build advanced analytics. This is actually came out of our Microsoft as well, how we actually changed as per the market is changing too. And it is converging into that data intelligence, AI, and ML space. As you know, artificial intelligence is a humongous area. I'm sure you will hear from others. And then there is another set of strategy transformation happening on the app side of it. As you know, like a lot of apps generate a lot of data. I mean, these days, everything generates data, right? From any things that you're using to humans talking, to every app that human touches, everything is generating data. The app also is also converging to a very similar phase like the data is doing. App modernization is happening, and then lately I've seen a lot of AI infused apps like Uber, or as you see, PowerPoint is a basic example which Ron was talking to you about. It's actually converting the live as I'm speaking right now. And then also there are a lot of intelligent apps being built as a service like Uber, Airbnb, and things like that. Fundamentally they have AI in their apps itself. Now, why is all this converging and coming? What it is right? Ultimately, the goal is to do data intelligence. For what? Data intelligence to do customer insights. How do I better efficiently give insights or provide insights to my customer, or how the customer can get insights? And then how do I find intelligence and insights in operations? How do I use all these data sets to transform my next generation products? How do I make employees work better, increase their productivity by using all these data? What can I do to motivate them or keep them like and get a lot of productivity out of them? Like these are all some of those things that we were looking at, and it's actually opening the door for us too. And it's an, as you know, it's a journey. It's not a very set standard. So let's talk about what does data intelligence mean. So we have a concept called intelligence-driven organization. So we look at our strategy in this, look at it at like this, all these 4 triangle box, right? Of course, you have to have an executive strategy, and then business use cases that are very prioritized based on the business needs. and converge that with a technical capability to build a platform or build like a capability where everybody can get benefit out of it. I'm talking across organizations, not just siloed, like a centralized concept where you have governance and security in place, plus you also be able to be agile enough to provide those insights to your customers, and then have that operating model, which is basically your governance part of it. We'll talk about that. I mean, my session is not going to be demo because this is more on a very high level. If you want to go deep dive, please do let us know. We can do follow-up sessions with, as like Ron said, and I can go a lot more deep dive as well. Now let's talk about the strategy itself, right? What are we looking at here? So some of the, in the latest, if you look at all these enterprises which are grown over a couple of years, new, old ones, and those companies who have been in the market for like 150 years and all, over the time we have so many applications. Each application is generating data, and they're all split and distributed across everywhere. Now, for us to go to the next level, to get into the analytics phase, we can't just rely on one system to provide us the insight. The goal of an intelligent-driven organization is the ability to look across everywhere and then make some sense out of the data, which is what these three principles are going to come. One is the preparation. Now, since it's distributed, it is costing you a lot more too. Can we converge them and bring everything together and do data quality, provide security, and also make sure there are standards, and can we make sure that privacy exists? The second one is the agility. Can we have master data system? Can we have metadata management system so that people can find where the data is quicker than going in circles and finding different places? Can we provide a common data model type of an environment where everything converges in one place and it is structured well enough that can be used for data science or for the regular reporting? And how do we control data access? So now that's the agility pillar in terms of the architecture wise. Now let's talk about some of the life cycle of the data itself. How do we ingestion for compute? How do we handshake when go from one system to another system? Can we provide a mechanism to discover data? Can we provide like a lineage? Can I see how and all my data moved from system A to system B, what got transformed? Can I classify those data? This is especially becoming very popular these days because of GDPR, or if you take the California CCPA Act, becoming very relevant. And how do I retain the data? For how long I retain the data, right? Now, these are the three primary strategies that is getting formed in in the current times that we are in. And as you know, like we are also not just have data coming just structured, we are also getting unstructured. We are getting videos, we are getting pictures, we are getting PDF files. So the varieties also constantly keep on changing. But at the same time, we want customers to utilize that data as well. That is one very key aspect that we wanted to provide them with. So what we did is we started, let me go here. So this gives you where we were at and where we are going to go. So if you look at the left side, on the legacy data estate, this is what in Microsoft we had. We had data owners, data scientists separate, engineers separately, app owners were managing their own app, and then the management was there, and the compliance leads were there, and they both were always trying to figure out where all these data and where all are scattered together, right? Especially in an organization like Microsoft, where we collect huge amount of data. I'm sure it applies to all of you. You are actually you are all in that same boat, right? I'm assuming now. So now what did we do? We took that process of existing one and we actually transformed into a different way. We said, okay, let's go back and bring in an enterprise data. How do we do this? We converged everything into our Azure Data Lake store, and we are still converging some of the other application also. And then we are allowing it to be applied with security, governance, and lineage, and all of those things, and allow you to onboard applications to send the data in, and that can feed into multitudes of areas of our business processes. Not only that, we also have clear data strategy that we were just showing you about, and then that allows them to build intelligence apps with the data which they can trust on. And they also have some scorecard alignments that we did to showcase like where the data is and what it is and how sensitive these are and things like that. Now, we also have a lot of sensitive information, so we classify that in the data lake as well. We didn't stop not only that. Now, in this day and age, we are also saying like, hey, not only Microsoft only has data. I mean, as companies like you guys, you're also working with partners, third-party companies. They all would like to share data. So we also did an extension with our data share product, which also allows you to come securely and access given to this third party as well. Does this make so far? Thumbs up, thumbs down? What do you think, Ron? So far, is it good? Okay. So let's talk about this. Now, how we figure this out. So on the left-hand side, you can see there are publishers, there are data coming in through various different ways, not only from devices, from systems, from Twitter or from our social media sites and everything like that. And then we are trying to bring everything to data lake and build logical data lakes for business specific context. I'm not really talking about how the data is stored. That will, if we have time, we can talk about it, but that's for another day. And then we are allowing compute to be scalable on that to be applied. And then we are also have all these shared data services, which we call cataloging, data quality, handshaking, ingestion, master data management. And we also allow folks to do machine learning. Now, I've also implemented this with few of the customers. So this same model even was able to applicable to them. And we made it very agile, and they can pick and choose which tool to use. Some of them use Databricks, some of them use Synapse, Azure Synapse Analytics, some of them use SQL data warehouse. And then you have the analysis tools on the top, which gives you the dashboarding capability, the drill down reports and things like that. Or you can also deliver the data through APIs, and other systems can come and connect to it. And we also provide you options that you can export the data out to your other self-services systems to make business value out of it. Everything that you see here is because make sure give you a platform that you can make value out of your data. Hopefully that's the idea that we are going after. So now let's talk about what we are doing in data governance. So as Microsoft, so we also have so much data, as I was talking to you guys about. What do we do with this? This governance is not just any more operations. It's almost like governance. We look at it as the entire data lifecycle management, right? The data is getting created. We protect the data while you're creating, store it, use it, maintain it, archive, destroy. Data is coming in from different sources, like from edge data centers, your on-prem data centers, or our on-prem data centers, multiple clouds. You have center data. How do you build the data estate? And then how can you, of course, if you have that much of data and if you're not doing anything, then it doesn't make any sense. So how do you provide governance to people, the processes, the policies, and technology, right? who can access how much, and do we audit them, or do we have the lineage for a right to be forgotten, things like that. Is the data classified? Is there anything PII in there? Which system it came from? Things like that. So the governance goes from entire thing, and that's how we actually envision what we wanted to do governance in. And this is just a sample org that we put for governance itself, like the way that how we look at it. There is a governance control body, and then you have working groups and different people in the working groups. Like these working groups could be within the business domain itself, and the governance body, which is the high level thing that actually governs and says what policies to set and things like that. I might have to go a little bit faster now, given the time. And this is a life cycle of how you can see end to end how the data is moving and what are we looking at, how we are looking at the entire life cycle: create, to protect, to store, use, maintain, archive, and destroy. Right? This applies to any data strategy, basically. So we have a platform that we do have built. There are a few of them come together, and then we actually get this to build it in our data lake. We have Babylon, which is going to come public preview, which will have the cataloging, and then we have data sharing. We have few data quality. Master data is usually by we have partners who do that, and then we're working on this data privacy and governance framework for policy-based governance. Now, all of these put together, which is going to pretty much cover the data consumer and the data producers, which is what we wanted to know. We wanted to make sure that the data can be created safe, can be moved across different apps safe, can be used safe, and at the same time you can also build value out of it. Right now, on the right, you can see you can do analytics, BI, ML, even for security, compliance. Everybody comes to that same one place, so that you don't have to go look and scratch and see like, hey, where is my data? Now, how do we do all these things? There are primary two processes that you do. One is the data processing, and the other one is the data storage. Data storage is something you probably would have all heard about, like the traditional data warehousing model, Ralph Kimball, Bill Lemons, and few others. The new way, those are very confined. It's an schema-bounded data sets, which can handle large volume of data. But the new era brings in unstructured data and semi-structured data to it. So there is this new concept called data lake and data lake house that we can leverage, that opens up to the data scientists to do a lot of machine learning and AI based algorithm. And then you have data vault and data hub, which kind of gives you the quasi structured data sets, domain specific models, so that the data scientist can go get the domain information from there, plus that value. And you can also go to the lake to get the unstructured data and build models for you. So it's kind of like both can complement with each other. Neither these two are not replacing with each other. I'm going to show you some of the patterns that we apply. Now, anything that we do for storing it, we have options, but I'm going to stick to a simple ones. This is something I'm assuming most of you would know, the Lambda architecture, if you're in the open source world. And here we are doing the Lambda architecture entirely in PaaS. You can bring the data through streaming engine, through HT inside Kafka or Stream Analytics, and use Databricks to do all your Delta Lake manipulation, which allows you to do CDC, change capture, without doing so much coding. And then you can persist for long term in the ADLS storage, that is the Azure storage, or you can also build your data marts and push it to Azure SQL Data Warehouse. Now we also have the batch track, which we can use the Azure Data Factory to move data from structured and unstructured. Data Factory can also move JSON files, binary files, and things like that. It's a very cloud-enabled massive data movement engine. Now this is just a sample of the architecture. And if you guys have any questions, please do let me know. I would like to answer if I don't have time here today too. Cosmos DB, you can ask why that is. Cosmos DB is our fast serving layer. So anything that you want quick response, of course, if you want quick response, the data cannot be huge volume, but you should be able to query it faster. That kind of scenario where you can use Cosmos DB to deliver it to like mobile apps or web app. It's usually considered a caching engine. Those are some of the alternatives that you have. When you come to the Azure SQL Data Warehouse, these are more for the data analyst, the business analyst who have terabyte and terabyte of data and billions of points that they wanted to crunch and do what if analysis. They wanted to try, hey, like customer insights. If I give $5 extra, what would be my sales growth would be? Things like that is where will drive this advanced analytics workspace. I'm going to show you another very generic architecture. This is kind of like our entire footprint. Here we can actually do not only streaming use cases, you can do batch use cases, you can also do data science sort of use cases. So look at it from the bottom up, you will slowly see like Data Factory is our orchestration engine for the intake of it. And you can see the container service and SQL databases are the ones that gives data for the serving side of it on the left and the right, right? From left is intake and towards the right is the outtake, it's going out. And then you have the storage layers. We can have data lake store if you want to store it for a long term. And if you want to maintain that unstructured capability, if you want to make it schema bounded, you can use SQL DB or SQL DW, or you can, if you want to do like an fast and quick retrieval storage, you can do Cosmos DB. And then you can, on the right side, if you see, you can use processing like Databricks and HD Insights. Those are, you have like flavor like Spark, Hive. Databricks is fully Spark, but HD Insights has Hive, Spark, HAR, and LLAP and things like that. It's all, there is no set standard, so you can pick and choose whichever is comfortable and applies for your workload. And then on the top, you see all of our ML platforms that we have. We have Azure Machine Learning Services, which has like the drag and drop studio, and it also has the batch AI now. And you can also do like Databricks and use Spark-based machine learning in large scale volume of data set. Now, once you do all these things, you can use serving layer as Cosmos or SQL and SQL DW, depending on what you want to do. The more performance you want, go towards analysis services or the Cosmos DB. If it is an application side, choose Cosmos DB. If you're using reporting services, use analysis services because that will give you the best report. SQL DW is much more for the business analytics and what if analysis, right? So this is a sample of it. I will share the deck. I have few more for real-time machine learning and batch machine learning processing separately, and few analytical different ways how you can actually do the end-to-end from left to right. So this covers basically the ingestion, processing, analytics, and then visualization, right? Now all of these comes with governance, and as before I was talking to you about the strategy, we cover all of them within these products and more. We also have a very good partner ecosystem to augment and add more functionality for the data estate itself. And with that, thank you very much.